Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're having an amazing day. I hope you've had a great Christmas. New Year's coming up and I'm just so excited, and I feel like I have not sat down and talked to you guys in like so long. I love vlogs, but I also just feel like vlogs, I just take you guys along on my day and like you guys get to come along with me, but it's not like, you know, that one-on-one chat. Today I decided to sit down and I just wanted to talk to you guys and catch you guys up and just kind of have like, you know, a coffee date with you guys. I don't have coffee with me because I'm trying to stay away from coffee because literally my skin has been just the worst, so I'm drinking water today. But I'm just gonna be sharing some tips with you guys on how to have the best year possible and just some life-changing habits that I have learned this year, hopefully just to make your 2022 the best year ever. So the first thing that I have on here is to drink lots of water, as I'm doing right now. Water is literally the best thing ever. If you really need some flavor, make sure to add some lemon or something to it. That's what I do sometimes because water just really hydrates you and it's just like the best thing for your body anyways. So drink lots of water and stay hydrated this year because it's so important for you and so healthy for you. The next thing is to work out and exercise. Oh my goodness guys, I'm literally the worst at exercising because I will start off so strong every single year and then it'll go downhill after that, but I'm going to make myself stay consistent with it this year. Even if it's not like a run or a real workout, I definitely want to just go out on more walks and enjoy nature more and get off my phone and stuff like that. The next tip that I have for you, which is the third tip, is to work for at least 3 hours per day. Even when you have days off, I feel like you should find some way to be productive. It doesn't have to be like something that you get paid for or anything like that. I've kind of gotten to the habit of doing things for fun, just as like, let's say if I were to sit there and scroll my phone or watch a movie, I would get up and bake instead. Like that's something that I genuinely enjoy doing. Or maybe I would pick up a book and read or something like that, just to like kind of enrich my mind and also like not spend it scrolling or something on social media. So I would encourage you to do that. Comment down below some of your favorite hobbies. I'd love to know. I'm always looking for something new to do. Yeah, that's like another tip that I have for you. Maybe like try and utilize your time more productively, if that makes sense. The fourth tip that I have for you for this upcoming year is to sleep at a similar time. So guys, I'm literally the worst at having a consistent sleep schedule. Normally when I'm like going to school and stuff, I will make myself go to sleep earlier so that like I'm not tired or whatever throughout the day. It stays consistent during the school year, but then I'll get on breaks. Like I started Christmas break and every single night I have been going to bed at like 1 because my family's been over. I'm just like doing all these other things. I like to stay up late and watch movies and everything, and it's been really bad for my health. So I encourage you to try and go to sleep at a decent time at least. The fifth tip that I have for you is to not let getting on your phone be the first thing that you do in the morning. What I've done is I have left my phone across the room from my bed so that I won't be tempted to get up, scroll on my phone the first thing, because I find that to be very unproductive. I think everyone's different for sure, and if you do that, that's totally fine. That's up to you and that's totally okay, but for me this is what works best, and I'm just, you know, telling you some tips off of my experience. But I will get up and I'll go wash my face, get ready, then I'll come back in, and then because my phone is over there, I'm gonna spend time with Jesus first and then I'll get to my to-do list for the day. Otherwise, if I had my phone next to my nightstand, I would wake up, look at all the things I have to do, and it honestly ends up making me more overwhelmed because I'm not prioritizing God's word first, and that's like what I'm here for. So that's just one of my tips. I think it like saves a lot of time too, so maybe if you haven't tried that, try that. So that leads me to the next tip: dig into God's word more consistently. And it doesn't even have to take you a long time or anything. I think that it's so important to just spend a little bit of time with the Lord every single day, because it really does make your perspective and your day a lot better, and it just starts your day off on the right foot. Even if you're not religious, I do think that it's still really good to invest in maybe a motivational book, or maybe like start off journaling throughout the day or something like that, like just writing down some things that you are grateful for. It really does change everything and it really puts you in the right mood. So I really do think that that's a great tip. So that leads me on to the seventh tip, which is to practice gratitude and journaling. I know a lot of people don't like to journal, but writing down feelings or writing down whatever and reflecting on your day just really helps to just have, you know, kind of a brain dump and just write everything down. That's how it works for me, but that's another tip that I have for you. And I also think it's so cool to look back on your journal and see how much life has changed, or if your prayers have been answered. That's definitely another tip that I have for this upcoming year if you're interested in trying that. The next tip, which is tip number 8, is to live in the moment. So I personally have such a bad habit of worrying sometimes, and I get caught up in a lot of things, but what I've learned this year is that I don't have anything in my control. When I say that, I am literally like being so honest. A lot of times I tend to portray my life on social media and I kind of make it look perfect, but I want you guys to know, and I'm being real and honest with you guys here, that I never have my life together. Literally, once I figure out one thing, another thing pops up that I have no idea what I'm gonna do. And I think what God has been showing me this year is that through all the uncertainties, we can depend on Him, and that we are in control, and He has everything set out for us, and all He wants us to do is trust in Him. But the thing is, you can't just trust in Him and not do anything. So that's like another thing that I want to implement in here. Live in the moment and don't stress too much about things, but also I would recommend, or I would suggest, that you pray about it, and also to do what you can, but leave the rest to God. Don't take everything into your own control, but at the same time, do what you can and then leave the rest to God, if that makes sense. The next tip is to read before you sleep. So what I've been getting into the habit of doing is reading a little bit before I sleep. It's helped me fall asleep better, and it's also helped me to not stay on my phone. So I would suggest you find a good book or just something to do before you go to sleep that doesn't involve technology. Otherwise, you know, it's scientifically proven that blue light makes you stay up later, and it kind of disturbs your sleep. The 10th tip that I have for you is to set limits on social media and spend more time creating. So I don't know how many people this applies to, especially for me personally. I feel like as a creator, sometimes I'll sit on social media and I'll scroll through, and it's great to scroll through because, you know, sometimes you get ideas, you get to connect with other people, you get to see their content. It's amazing, but it also is very time consuming. So what I've been working on is to, you know, obviously connect with my friends and you guys on social media, but also to set limits to where I spend more time creating and making my own content rather than scrolling, because scrolling sometimes leads to comparison, and then that leads you like down another path, and that's a whole nother different story. But you know, sometimes it discourages me too when you scroll too much and then you end up in the comparison trap, which is a terrible trap to be trapped in. But something I recommend for that is to get inspiration and create more, get outside and just connect with other people, collaborate with people, and do more things like that, because, you know, it's so important to have good community and to go through life with people, because we're not meant to go through it alone. The 11th tip that I have for you, which I just kind of briefly talked about, is to stop comparing yourself. I have literally struggled with this for so long, and I think the cure to comparison yourself is gratefulness and being thankful for where you are, because when you thank God, or if you're just being thankful in general, you are reflecting on where you are and how far you've come, and that's really all that matters. You should only be racing in your own lane essentially anyways. So just whatever you're going through at and whatever your goals are in life, remember to just appreciate where you are, where you came from, because no matter how far it took you, or no matter how long it takes you, you have taken a long journey and you have gone through so much and you have learned so much along the way. So no matter what or how you've got there, you should be proud of where you've gotten and who you've become. So just cut the comparison trap. I still struggle with this sometimes, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, it's always an ongoing thing, and it's something that you just have to kind of learn to live with, but also you can't let it consume you. So stop comparing yourself and just know that you're right where you're meant to be, and you will get where you want to be. Just keep going and just keep believing in yourself and just keep praying for it and asking for it, and you will get there. So leading into the next tip, productivity is so important, but the 12th tip that I have is to schedule breaks. Guys, I am literally the worst at scheduling breaks for myself, because the moment that I don't feel like I'm working is wasted time. But what I've learned is that if I continue to work and burn myself out, that's even worse than me taking a break and then coming back to it, because after burnout I tend to stop and I tend to kind of not end up enjoying making more content, and that's the worst feeling and place to be. So I would encourage you, if you are working hard and if you're kind of like a workaholic like me, make sure to schedule breaks and do things that you enjoy for fun, not work related. As much as work is important, I also think that it's so important to have fun in life, because you're never gonna be the same age all the time and you grow and you don't want that time to pass. The 13th 15th tip that I have for you is to cook and eat healthier. I have tried doing that this year and it's gotten a little bit better since last year, because last year all I did was eat takeout. But life gets crazy and sometimes that's just a reality. I do still eat takeout, so don't get me wrong, but I will say that eating healthier, cooking your own meals is so much better for you. So if you can eat healthier, cook at home, or if you're going to take out, maybe like substitute a salad for a burger one day. Just feed your body well, because God gave us our bodies and we need to take care of it. The 14th tip that I have for you is to set small goals. That's something that I have been working on this year. I feel like the smaller goals tend to be more attainable than the big goals, and looking at the big pictures. Certain goals that I set for myself that are small, I tend to reach, and it doesn't leave me as disappointed if I don't reach the small goal. If you are working towards something big, make sure to set small goals for yourself and be proud of the small victories, because those really do matter, because the small victories lead you to the big victories. So make sure to not underestimate that and to be proud of yourself and how far you've come. The 15th tip that I have for you is to not procrastinate. For me, I think I've gotten better at procrastination this year, just because I feel like I have learned to schedule better, and also I have just told myself that if I'm not gonna get it done now, I'm gonna have to do it later. So think about the outcome rather than where you are in the moment. A lot of times I feel like procrastination just stems from where you are in the moment and how good you feel in the moment. But if you think about the long-term outcome, then you will definitely choose the long-term outcome, because that's the better outcome anyway. So if you decide to get it done now, it will save you a lot of time later. But the 16th tip that I have for you is to get involved. I think COVID has made it so hard to get involved, but ever since things are slightly getting normal again, which I'm super thankful for, it's been easier for me to get plugged in at my school, meet new people, meet new friends. And as much as I was nervous to start the new semester in person again after being online for about 2 years at my college, it was probably the best and wholesome and just the greatest learning experience I've had in a really long time. If you are looking for a good community, or if you're looking to get involved at your college or church or wherever it is in life that your workplace, I really encourage you to step outside of your comfort zone and just reach out to people, connect with them, maybe ask them to go out and hang out with you and stuff like that. I feel like a lot of times a lot of people are looking for that, but sometimes you just have to take the first step, and then, you know, if those people reciprocate the same vibes or feelings, then they'll reach back out to you and you guys can become friends, and that's where the best friendships kind of stem from. Don't be afraid to take the first step. Don't be afraid to get involved. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. I know it's very nerve-wracking and scary sometimes, and I definitely feel that, because I don't know, it's just very hard to put yourself out there with the fear of getting rejected. It's honestly one of the best decisions that I made this year, because I really wanted to make friends, and I've been praying for friends for a long time, and so I did that this year and I found some really good friends, and I'm just super thankful. So I encourage you guys to do that too. Connect with other people and just be genuine, be yourself, and the rest will fall into place. The 17th tip that I have for you is to save up and find some financial stability. I have been so blessed and just so thankful, because God has just given me so many opportunities this year financial wise, and I've been, you know, able to intern with this place through my college and everything. I'm always still looking for new opportunities though, and it is still hard waiting on God to open new doors. But I will say that it's so important to think about those things, but also not to stress too much about those things, because God always has a plan for that, and there's a right timing and a right place. I feel like one of the tips that I have for financial stability and everything is to spend wisely and budget well, because it's so hard to budget well nowadays, especially when there are so many temptations of things to buy. And as a spender, I totally understand that. I also think that when we talk about financial stuff, I feel like it's not bad to want to make a lot of money, because, you know, we all need money to survive, and, you know, it's just, you need to make money to make a living. And so one of the tips that maybe I would have is to go through your bank account and check and just get rid of any subscriptions that you don't need or you don't use, and just keep a check on that, because that'll definitely save you some money. And also just reach out to people, ask them if they need any help, and maybe you can find some connections and some new jobs through there. But I definitely do think that saving and budgeting and learning how to spend wisely is so important, and it's such a useful skill for life. The next tip that I have for you is to spend some time with family and friends. I feel like sometimes I take my family for granted, because I have such a big family, and I don't mean that in like a mean way or anything. Like, I love my family, but sometimes like they're a lot, because I'm just around them all the time, and sometimes I'm like, I need my own space. But I will say that over the years, I've learned that it's so fun to have a big family, and I'm just so blessed to have a big family. Setting some time to spend with your family and friends, catching up with them, hugging your loved ones, and just being so appreciative of them is just another goal of mine this year, and I encourage you to do that as well. I don't really share this much on my channel, but I really want to be real with you guys here, but I got the opportunity to go and visit my dad over winter break, and I don't know how to say this without getting too personal, but because I mean, we have a great relationship now. Like my dad and me and my brother, we have a great relationship now, but it was really hard when we were growing up just because of situations between our parents and everything. But it was just so nice to finally see my dad and then my family, well, my dad's side of the family and everything. So yeah, I don't know. So I just encourage you that even if you technically don't have a great relationship with one of your family members or whatever, they're still your family, and I really encourage you to reach out and maybe just connect with them, because you never know. Sometimes they're going through their own things, and everyone has their own issues and their own problems. So it's still so important to reach out and just connect with people when you can, and just spread that love and that light, because that's what Jesus calls us to anyways. The next tip that I have for you is to be eager to learn. Just being willing to step out of your comfort zone and to learn new things is so important. So that's something that I'm going to be working on this year. Another tip that I have for you too is to kind of work on yourself. I feel like a lot of times as an extrovert, I kind of, I don't know, tend to get lonely by myself, but I am working on normalizing and romanticizing time by myself, and I think that the time that I spend by myself and with Jesus is the time that I grow the most. So I definitely want to work on that this year, and I encourage you to do the same. The last tip that I have for you is to let the past go and stop dwelling on things. I wrote this down a long time ago, and I really don't know where I was going with this, but I think the only thing that I would mention is to kind of work on not letting your past define you and not letting your past hold you back. So a lot of times I personally let my past define me and let it hold me back from things that I want to accomplish based on previous things that have happened in my life. But I encourage you, and this is something I'm working on as well, so, and I'm nowhere near perfect with any of these things. This is just like kind of me reflecting, but I'm definitely going to be working on that this year, just going full force into things and just being so optimistic and just chasing after my dreams and goals no matter what people say, and just not letting others' opinions get to me, and also just stop dwelling too much on things, because I find that when I dwell too much on things, it gets to my head, and I'm like a big overthinker, so it's not the best and not the healthiest thing anyway. So I encourage you to do that, and I think that the best way to do that is to have someone like a friend or something to keep you accountable, and also to write down and journal down your dreams and your goals, and to pray about it and to talk to God about it. I also want you guys to know that like I'm always here for you guys as well. I try to answer every DM. It's just like I get a lot, so it's very hard to like keep up, and sometimes life gets really busy. But if you ever need anything, DM me and let me know. But yeah, that's another goal of mine this year, just to step out of my comfort zone and continue to grow as much as I can, and listen to God's plan for my life, and just kind of like see where the year goes. I'm super excited for this new year. It's a fresh new start every single year, and I'm just super thankful and super happy for my health, and I just send nothing but love and all my heart to you guys, and I am just so thankful for everything that we've been together this year. The year started off like really smooth and really great, but then towards August I was just going through kind of the lowest moment in my life, and I was struggling with school, I was struggling with my mental health. It was a whole mess, but I'm just so thankful for how it ended, because it doesn't really matter how you start, it really matters about how you end. But thank you guys for watching. I hope some of these tips help you and just, you know, encourage you and just kind of guide you for this new year. I am so excited for this fresh brand new start. Comment down some of your 2022 goals. I'm super excited to hear, and I'm always curious. And thank you so much to you guys for all the support this year. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you for sitting and chatting with me. I always love it, and I'm just so thankful for this small community that we've built, and I couldn't have gotten here without you guys, and without God. I'm just so grateful for you all. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and you found some of these tips helpful. Comment down your own tips down below. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.